to the newspaper review on JDN Radio 101.5 FM, and I will be starting with the headlines from the Punch newspaper that says electricity subsidy nears 2 trillion naira yearly. And here is the story. Amid its struggles to pay the over 4 trillion naira debt owned by power generation companies, the federal government incurred a total of 1.98 trillion naira in electricity subsidy obligations in 12 months from October 2024 to September 2025. This was according to the quarterly report released by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission in the fourth quarter of 2024, covering October to December. The electricity subsidy incurred by the government was 471.69 billion naira. It was 536.4 billion naira in the first quarter of 2025 and 514.35 billion naira in the second quarter of last year. The latest report from NEC released on Tuesday shows that the federal government incurred a power subsidy burden of 458.75 billion naira in the third quarter of 2025 as electricity tariff remained below cost relative level, making a total of 1.98 trillion naira in the 12-month period from October 2024 to September 2025. And the story continues on the Punch newspaper for this morning. And still moving forward with the Punch newspaper with this headline that says VIP protection crisis, NCDC moves to recruit 30,000 officers. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has requested presidential approval to recruit about 30,000 additional personnel, citing increased pressure on the agency stemming from its expanded responsibilities, particularly in protecting very important persons. It was gathered, according to findings by the correspondents. The request was made after a meeting held last month involving President Bola Tinubu, the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, and the Commandant General of the NSCDC, Ahmed Audi. This proposed recruitment is separate from the ongoing 30,000 personnel recruitment currently being carried out across the paramilitary service. The engagement came amid a surge in requests for VIP escort service nationwide after the withdrawal of police officers from such duties. And the story continues on the Punch newspaper for this morning, the 7th of January 2025. And still in the same vein of that, with this headline that says IG deploys newly promoted DIG 17 CPs. The Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetokun, has approved the deployment of the newly promoted Deputy Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Gumal, alongside 17 commissioners of police to strategic departments, commands, and formation across the country. The statement issued on Tuesday by the Force Public Relations Officer, Benjamin Udain, said the deployment was aimed at strengthening operational capacity, enhancing leadership effectiveness, and improving public safety nationwide. According to the statement, DIG Gomel has been posted to head our Force Intelligence Department. It added that Aino Adeshola has been deployed to the Delta State Police Command, Umar Ajedia to the Kebbi State Police Command, and Ijama Edobo to the Bayelsa State Police Command. And others include CP Osage John Agas Irabo as Commissioner of Police Anti-Human Trafficking Unit, FCID Annex, Lagos, CP Johnson Babalola as Commissioner of Police Special Enquiries Bureau, FCID Abuja, CP Adekpegba Adetoye as Commissioner of Police Marine Unit, Force Headquarters Abuja, CP Tabitha Bako as Deputy Commandant, Police College Kaduna, CP Umar Fage as Deputy Commandant, Police College Ikeja, CP Aldu Boso as Commissioner of Police General Investigation FCID Annex Kaduna, CP Edwin Ogbekaga as Commissioner of Police Community Policing Force Headquarters Abuja, and CP Akripo Ikpi as Commissioner of Police Investment Office Department of Logistics and Supply Force Headquarters Abuja. And it continues on the Punch newspaper for this morning. If you're just tuning in, it's to your dial 101.5 FM, the newspaper review. And I'm still with the Punch newspaper with this headline that says ADC ticket, Atiku rejects calls to step down, attacks Tinubu. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has ruled out stepping down in the race for the African Democratic Congress presidential ticket, while accusing President Bola Tinubu of alleged interference in the internal affairs of the opposition coalition. Atiku, in a statement released on Tuesday by his media advisor, Paul Ibe, called on Nigerians to resist effort by the All Progressive Congress to intimidate and weaken the opposition. The former vice president's comments came amid speculations that he is facing pressure to step aside for a Southern candidate to emerge as the ADC's flag bearer in the upcoming elections against President Bola Tinubu. Recently, former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi formally joined the ADC, and three other reports Atiku may be planning a joint ticket with former Kano State Governor Rabi Kwakwanso to clinch the ADC ticket. And the story continues on the Punch newspaper for this morning. And still in the same vein of that story from the Punch newspaper, I have the story that says 2027, Jonathan pledged active role in PDP, says Turaki. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has pledged to take a more active role in the activities and affairs of the People's Democratic Party ahead of the 2027 general elections, according to the party national chairman Taminu Turaki San. Turaki disclosed this while addressing journalists after a closed-door meeting with the former president in Abuja on Tuesday. Turaki arrived at Jonathan's Matama office alongside the entire National Working Committee, former governors, founding fathers, and a few selected state chairmen at about 5:45 p.m. in 6 SUVs. The meeting lasted 1 hour and 30 minutes. Last year, it was rumored that Jonathan would seek re-election in 2027 after the PDP zoned his presidential ticket to the south. The rumored re-election's ambition sparked legal debate on Jonathan's eligibility to run. The ex-president was, however, mum, neither confirming nor denying the presidential ambition. Speaking in the company of other party leaders, Turaki noted that not all political crises can be resolved through the court. And the story continues on the Punch newspaper for this morning. And moving forward to the nation for this morning with this headline that says student rally support for tax laws shelves protest plan. Tax law has received the backing of students of higher institution. Apart from shelving their planned protest slated for January 14th against the law, they will now be ambassadors providing enlightenment to the public on the tax reforms. The students announced their new position yesterday in Abuja after a meeting of the National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS), expanded National Executive Council (INEC), along with other student union structures. The meeting was briefed by the chairman, Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform, Taiwo Oyedele, NAS President Olushola Oladoja, told reporters in Abuja that they changed their stance against the tax law after gaining a deeper understanding of the issue. He said, contrary to the NAN's prior belief, the student body has realized that laws do not target the poor. And the story continues on the Nations for this morning. Still on the Nation with this headline that says support-based swells for Tinubu in Rivers. Support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's re-elections in 2027 is gaining momentum in Rivers State. Prominent traditional rulers, elders, and political stakeholders have openly aligned with the renewed Hope family, initiative spearheaded by the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nelson Wike. The latest endorsement came yesterday during Wike's ongoing thank you tour of local government areas in Rivers, where the Amayan nobles of Torusarami Piri of Degama local government area, Asari Dokubo, and the River Elders Council pledged to mobilize support for President Tinubu. Receiving Wike at his palace in Degama, Dokubo vowed to stand firmly behind the president, describing his support as a personal commitment rooted in gratitude and long-standing friendship. And the story continues on the Nations for this morning. And as you know that we would want you to be part of the newspaper review in 1 to 2 minutes, and I will be reading out the stories, the headlines that I've read their stories for this morning. From the Punch newspaper, I read the stories on electricity subsidies near 2 trillion naira yearly. And the number to be part of it is 07048 001015 and 08022102163. And moving to the major headline that I've read out their stories, and I also read that VIP protection crisis, NSCDC moves to recruit 30,000 officers. And also, I read the story that IG deploys newly promoted DIGs and 17 CPs. And also, ADC tickets, Atiku rejects call to step down, attack Tinubu. And also, on the headlines, 2027, Jonathan pledged active role in PDP, says Turaki. And moving forward to the Nations, I read the story that students rally support for tax laws, chef protest plans. And also, I read the story that support-based swells for Tinubu in Rivers. And also, 2027, ADC rules out automatic ticket for Atiku Obi. And those are the stories, those are the headlines I've read out their stories for this morning. So to be part of the conversation this morning in 1 to 2 minutes, you can call in on 07048 001015 and 08022102163 is the number to call. And you can also join the conversation on Facebook on JDN Radio, JDN Radio. I'm taking this last story that says 2027 ADC rules out automatic ticket for Atiku Tinubu. There is no automatic presidential ticket for any aspirant in 2027, the African Democratic Congress ADC clarified yesterday. According to the party, while the consensus options will be adopted in selecting the standard bearer, members will resort to open, competitive, and transparent primary if the option fails. ADC National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi, who spoke on the national television, noted the growing speculations, intrigues, coalitions negotiations, and the defections of prominent politicians from other parties to the ADC. However, he said that no decisions has been taken on who will fly the presidential ticket, adding that all aspirants are eligible. Abdullahi stressed no conversation is going on at the moment about who will be the standard bearer or who will be running mates to who. Every single issue has not been resolved regarding who will fly the flag for the party in 2027. And right now, we'll be calling it a wrap on the newspaper review on JDN Radio 101.5 FM for this morning. And as you know that if you have any contributions on the newspaper review, you know that the newspaper review will be coming in Yoruba language translation by 8 a.m. this morning on our phone Nirui, and you will not want to miss that. So you can always join the conversation on the numbers that I call on 07048 001015 and 08022102163 is the number to be part of them once the Yoruba translation comes up. I remain Abiola Samson, so we'll come your way on the newspaper review on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Don't forget, it's always by 7:30 to 8 a.m. Monday to Friday. Till then, keep sticking to the frequency. JDN Radio 101.5 FM, the only radio station that is broadcast